Hi, Jonah. I wanted to start off by saying thank you for letting me respond to your essay. You had a lot of really good analysis about Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle, and I appreciated all of the ideas that you presented. So starting off, I definitely agree with you in saying that Socrates was the most impactful and foundational in regards to what we now study within school as well as within philosophy. I think that it's really interesting to see how applicable what he had is to what we're learning now, years and years and years later. So I definitely agree with you that he was really ahead of his time in that sense. And I thought that your example about Socratic seminar, I definitely had made that connection before, that Socrates was Socratic seminar, and because a Socratic seminar has to do all with asking questions, but I didn't use that example within my response, so I thought it was a really good way to relate that idea that he was ahead of his time, that his ideas are still applicable to now. I thought that it was really cool that you acknowledged that you know nothing. I thought that was really insightful into who you are and being able to remove your ego and make that statement about yourself. Like, I hadn't really thought about it that way before, that by letting go of your ego, you're able to acknowledge more of a sense of self and really ask those deep questions. And I definitely think that it could be helpful in allowing me to acknowledge the different parts of myself that I need to have more centered, as well as to have less of an influence of the people around me and the society telling me that I need to be a certain way. And going into that, I also thought that it was, I like the way that you wrote that you wanted to seem outwardly knowledgeable, and that definitely resonates with me. Like, I definitely want to, especially as a woman, I know this doesn't apply to you, but it's that I want to view myself as smart and I want to portray myself as smart. But this essay, as well as the videos, kind of showed that it could probably be more beneficial to us to be completely vulnerable, so that we're able to develop more consciousness and more wisdom within our fields, and able to actually get a more full grasp on what we do know and what we are knowledgeable about. So I thought that was really cool that you talked about that within your essay, because I definitely agree that I think that seeming outwardly knowledgeable is something that a lot of people try to do, but it isn't necessarily the most beneficial to ourselves. In regards to your analysis about the chariot example, I definitely feel the same way, in the sense that I blame my emotions for a lot of my reactions. But I also want to say props to you, because it's really it takes discipline to work on that part of yourself and to acknowledge that you maybe react in a way that isn't super beneficial to the conversation, or the way that you actually want to act around the people with whoever you're having an argument or a frustration with. So I think that's really cool. So good for you. One of the things that I thought was really interesting was your idea about the cave allegory in regards to Plato. I thought it was really interesting because you looked at the cave example in the sense that Socrates and Plato were looking at the common people and seeing that they were never going to experience the real world, or the true sense of being. Whereas for me, I actually viewed it the opposite way, and it gave me reasoning to see why the people would convict Socrates and then murder him, because they said that he was corrupting the people. So I looked at it at the sense that the people got reasoning to see that he was corrupt and to murder him, versus you looking at it and seeing that Socrates and Plato were like, these people are never going to fully understand the idea of being. So I thought that was interesting, because we had different ideas, and I thought yours was a really good way to look at it and to see more of the philosophical side, versus me looking to see reasoning behind the murder. I also, the idea that you presented, or Aristotle's idea of the golden, the way that you presented it within your essay, and that idea of finding the middle ground between excess and deficiency. I kind of related that. It might be a little bit of a stretch, but I related it to the idea of Epicureanism. This idea that you don't need full luxury to be happy, and you don't need nothing to not be happy. So I thought that was interesting, because I was able to see that, if you have these three things, if you're in between the excess of luxury and all these other things, and from not having anything, then you're able to be happy, and that you're able to just have that idea of the golden. But anyway, I really appreciated all the things you had to say within your essay. Thanks.